What's up, guys? Welcome to a Bitcoin high time frame analysis where we are going to move and see on the higher time frame to try to see if we can understand more about this pair, which still is pretty unknown for me. I only analyzing as um, on the technical side, on an intraday basis, especially for scalping. Trades and scalping trade ideas, but it's very always useful to try and see also the higher time frame on your own if you can spot um, trends, patterns, and everything that might be helpful to trade then on the lower time frame. So let's clear this mess that I was doing and let's start. So as you can see on the 1 month time frame, of course, we can understand and pretty clear to see that in 2020 with the COVID and especially at the end of 2020, the very aggressive bullish run of Bitcoin happened. Um, Fundamental reasons was the hype, the new technology, the uh, sort of idea of Bitcoin being the new gold, uh, in some sort of sense, even better than gold, because gold there are no um, 21 million. 21 million lingots. There are much more. They are still being extracted. Uh, Bitcoin versus gold. So we have 21 million maximum BTC versus gold, precious metal, but still being extracted. It's not, there's no scarcity yet. While even now, yes, 18 million currently mined. Yes, we are still mining it, but every Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken, every Bitcoin, every transaction makes it harder to extract and mine another Bitcoin. If I'm not mistaken, that's something that I don't know. But it's for sure like the last Bitcoin will be in 100 years or something like that. Of course, the points in favor of Bitcoin are decentralized, crypto, less, they think that is less manipulation, they think is much more safe. It's sort of more transaction peer to peer, and is not um, how can I explain it? Let's see if I understood the concept right. It's made by the people and not by governments, by institutions, because each transaction is made by between each other. It's verified, and each Bitcoin to be validated by the network. Of course, I'm not a crypto expert, so it's something like that, because every cube, every like arch, something has to be connected to the previous one, block, sorry, not cube. And this gives its safety, safer than gold, no counter, counterfeit, no stealing of BTC. Well, of course, this can happen with gold bars, with US dollars, etc. There you go. This is the point also. If you have Bitcoin, it's yours. There's very low probability that someone can steal it from you, but at the same time, Bitcoin can be lost forever. That's the point. There are many, I think some, maybe 1 million or something that are lost forever. Because if you lose the access to your wallet, you cannot access it again. That Bitcoin is lost. That code is lost forever. It won't be for anybody else. The point is, institutions and indexes, I don't know. It's already clear in the Bitcoin also in the Bitcoin world, in the crypto world, that institutions and indices are being created because this is following regulations to avoid AML, anti-money laundering, and criminal activities. These regulations will indices XH will make BTC tradable as any other investing asset. This doesn't mean that it's bad, but it means that it will be subject, as is already being doing, to any other market cycles. It hasn't been in a market cycle yet. 2015, we're not even in a 10-year market cycle, and we are going through it, and we are going now to see it on a high time frame. As you can see, there are very strong and positive points, but there are also very strong against the hope of Bitcoin going to 1 million in this year and the next year. This is all because most of the people, not everybody in the crypto world, they are in Bitcoin, in the cryptos, since this period. They saw this spike, and since then they are forever bull. They think it's like stock market, a forever bull. Everybody will buy, hold, and will go to the moon. But this has become an asset, investing asset, and therefore this brings to economic and market cycles. That's it. And people still has not seen a market cycle yet on Bitcoin. So that's it. Let's move on the technical side of the chart. So as you can see, everybody has seen that those charts of the usual market behavior, asset behavior, stock behavior. When you have nothing, you have a first spike, then you have nothing, liquidity grab, mainstream media brings the hype. There's a cap because here there are huge, those who are in from these lows, I don't like it. Here, okay. mainstream media phase, hype, take profit, because those who are in from these lows want to take those profit. There's sort of fear, but there's a rebound. It's this is the, I think, the hope something, hope pit, hope something, where people think, okay, yeah, now we're going to the moon, and then you have another market cycle where price retraces down, and there are people who bought here who are still holding the bag, which is now empty. And this, I'm not saying that this is exactly going to happen, but this is might be, and I'm in no way trying to copy the higher time frame webinar of Driven, but this is for me to look at it in my own way, and this is it. This happened in Tesla, in every asset, every stock. So as you can see here, we had this hype, this spike up. 2017 then was the big correction with China news, something that brought price from 20 to 5K to a minimum of 3K in 2019, and then we saw a rebound and in 2020 with the advent of stimulus from the coronavirus, with all the hype that was around cryptocurrencies, we had a nice rally from 6K to 60K, which is like 10x. But people think that they're going to be forever bullish, that this is just up, down, and then from here we break above 60 and then to the moon. They don't understand that we can possibly get to 100K, but we can expect, now that we are in that fundamental period where institutions are coming in, regulations are coming in, the hype that is only determined by, okay, this is the crypto is the currency of the people, is the we decide, blah blah blah, is just in our hands, is fading off. Sorry, not shading, fading off, because institutions, whales are coming in. Whales already at the first signs of indexes and regulations sold half of the value from 60K to 30K, and that was the first sign of, okay, Bitcoin is not forever bullish. Bitcoin is in the hands of a few. It's not in the hands of the billions of people. It's in the hands of institutions, central banks, etc. And the more it becomes tradable, and the more it becomes available for investors, ETFs, and for the private clients of the central banks. Okay, I'm sorry. The more we see investors coming in, the more indexes regulations, the more the currency will follow that path, that behavior made by investors, not by just people, hype, Reddit, etc. This is very, very important to understand, because we can now expect, as I showed you, we had the hype, we had the sell-off, the pit of hope. People are buying, people are keep buying and say, okay, yeah, will 100% break above and go to the moon from here. I mean, if you bought with the investors at 30K, of course you are already in profits. But how many people are so smart, and how many are buying here, hoping that price will go here? The point is, it's not wrong to buy at 50K if you expect price to get to 60K. If you know what I mean, it's still 20%, like, right? It's not, you can expect a 20%, 25% move on the upside. But those people who are investing now, they are not going to sell here. They will, if they see a reaction or if they see at 56, 55, which is still 10, 15% profit or even more, they will not sell. Even if price retraces, goes back, they will hodl. Then at 15K, they say, yeah, buy the dip. Might be, but you have to be aware that this is becoming a financial instrument as all the others. And the point is, it's not just think about the use of Bitcoin dollar. You can't expect, of course, and nobody is expecting, I think, anymore to use Bitcoin on a daily basis. Bitcoin itself made Bitcoin Cash as a crypto for daily use, for making transactions less expensive and make a more of daily use of it. But Bitcoin is becoming an asset. It's like investing in stocks. Okay, so this is going to be an investment tool. Banks are giving ETF of Bitcoin to their private clients. This is becoming, just be aware of it. Not saying that we will go to 0 or we go to 100. Just be aware of what is Bitcoin now, not anymore that hope and currency of the people. That's it. We're going now to, let's go on the time frame. We can go on the daily. As you can see, the rally through 2020, the continue on a technical standpoint, very, very clean. Even if it on the monthly looks like a straight up, it follows already. It's made by the people, so it's same behavior. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, at exactly the same previous points. Higher high, higher low, higher high. And then you already see the difference between those highs. If you see the difference between this one and this one, the difference between this one and this one, and the difference slash distance between those. Look how smaller it is becoming. It became, because it's already done. And then you see price making a lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, reacting exactly at these previous price points on the left. Exactly here. So let me just change this. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Sort of reaction at the same point, reaction at the same point. And from now, we have been ranging, reacting again in these lows, and then pushing up, retesting, and then up again. So where are we now? And we are going to zoom in. But as you can see here, this is the, I wanted to highlight that we are making a lower high, lower low, lower high. So this, we're coming into a correction phase. And we already had it until 30K. And then we got both up. Let's move and sort of zoom in a little bit more to understand where are we now on a technical standpoint. As you can see, this was the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, reacting exactly on this, almost on the dot, then making new low. You can make a failure to make new highs, and then a continuation down here. Okay, where are we now? Let me just mark it up. Okay. Then we got a reaction at those important levels on the chart. This is just chart, even if you don't know anything about Bitcoin. You see where this price reacting? Exactly at this high, very important price sensitivity area. Then the pullback goes where? To these previous lows, which correspond to those lows. And then you see smaller bullish momentum, but you see almost immediately exhausting sellers this price sensitivity area. From there, you see a very 30K price psychological price point, price level, blah, blah, blah. You see that here, you see that buyers are jumping back in. And you can say we're still in a range. The only difference is that you say, okay, this is, maybe we are going to dip below immediately, is it's very, very strong. Consecutive, strong, bullish candles on a daily time frame. And can indicate you how buyers are in control. So we're going to see it here. We have, as I do on a daily basis, this can be a 1 minute chart. It's the same. Break up, break out of this level, pullback. I told you, I think today, I don't remember, or yesterday, what's the point? Do we need a break and retest of exactly this level? Or is it very important to understand that this is indeed a new higher low? That's very, very important. You don't have to be always on the dot, but you cannot deny that this is a higher low. That's it. And then you have another impulsive leg, bullish leg, and reacting at this 44 flat, and then we are moving up. Okay, we're moving up. Let's see, we are on the 1 minute chart. We are on a scalping day. So let's start see here on the left. Where was this reaction? Was as 44 was this sort of previous lows, price sensitivity area, as you can see. I don't like it. This one is kind of inaccurate. Okay, so now we are here. Let me cancel this because it's sort of ruining the view. But anyway, no, let me leave it. No, let me cancel everything. And we go deeper. On the daily, we're still on the daily. we have this big price sensitivity area on the left. So this is the all-time high, previous high, the last high. Then we have this was one of the higher lows, the last, which made the lower low, and we are reacting at it right now, sort of 50 price, the 50K, very important PPL, of course, not gonna lie. It's a very important psychological, over 50K, below 50K. So where are we going now? So the point is, where are we turning and shifting our buys? As I told you, this is pretty technical, but on the standpoint of knowing how the investing assets work. On a technical standpoint, for price to change and to continue bullish, we have to make new higher highs and new higher lows. So we indeed, this was last high, all-time high. But we made, this was the last, let me just chart it and put it written. Okay, so higher low, and coming from a higher high, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. We made a higher low. We made higher high slash all-time high. But then what happened here? We made a lower low. And then what happened here? We made a lower high. So this is the high risk, high reward entry of failing to break 60K. Exactly, this was absolutely spotted by Jivan on May, right? Yeah, the 12th, right? Something like that. Lower high. And then we made here another lower low. So when do we turn on the higher time frame bullish again? If we see price making new breaking above 50K and making new higher highs, new higher high, new lower higher low. The new higher high, of course, will be above this level, because we have to change this bearish correction structure. You know what I mean? Pretty clear, no? But what happens if we see price? As I told you, think about this is the 1 minute chart. What happens if we see price reacting here, here? Can we say that we in a higher time frame bullish trend yet? Is this a new higher high? Maybe we can think, okay, it's not yet, but it's good, because now maybe we see that price reacts here, bounces from 50K, and then up, and then this is identifiable as new higher below. This is very good. But we still need a new higher high above these previous highs to confirm that we made a shift in market structure. If this is 1 minute, you don't enter buys until you are above here. Unless you enter here, spotting the many rejection of price sensitivity area. You enter here, say, okay, yeah, we never broke below 30K. I will enter somewhere. Let's say this is 10 pips, something. Okay, enter here, stop loss below. As I told you before, we have range. If we see a reaction here, we have time to either take partials, secure position, run risk-free. And then if it goes above, it's good. But it's not, for me, safe to say yet. And this is also in confluence with the overall investment behavior of the stocks, of the assets, that we can see a huge correction again to retest those lows on the high time frame. And those lows, we can go on the weekly. Can be easily down here, 20K. Can easily go to 20K. And then eventually, with enough fundamental confirms, going back up. Eventually retesting and then going to 80K. But this can easily, if we see exhaustion here, that we see that we cannot make new highs, it's very, very easy that we can retrace safer sells below the 30K. But we can also have high risk, high reward, medium risk sells to go and revisit those lows. It's not certain. I'm just showing you on a technical standpoint why we have to be cautious and what to be aware of. On the 4-hour, as you can see, it's indeed in the intraday indeed making higher highs and higher lows. But are we still out of this bearish correction? Price can go here and then continuation down. I mean, why not? Why cannot this be a fake out? We see a order block being created, fake out, continuation down. We're not breaking above here yet. And I'm not saying that I'm pessimist, that I don't want Bitcoin to go up, because I don't care. Maybe Bitcoin can go to 100 as long as I take advantage of those buys. If you all understand what I mean. Here. Then if we see price breaking above, you can see okay, break, retest. We are failing to break below 60K again. Let's revisit the previous highs and maybe continuation up. But at least, well, we made a new higher high. We are shifting our structure. Okay, so guys, it was very messy. I understand. I'm not a crypto expert in any way. I just wanted to have my own view of this Bitcoin higher time frame point of view. I don't know what to say. I understand it's much better to see it in this way. It's much cleaner. But if we go on gold 1 month, there's much more data, of course, because it's many more years, but it's not that different. We saw a spike, then financial crisis, bullish run, then we saw correction, on the upside, pullback, bounce from these lows here, but then a deeper correction to revisit those previous highs. Deeper correction to revisit those previous highs, and then continuation up if there are fundamental reasons for it. So this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.